The reservations program. A hotel takes reservations to book day use rooms for banquets, conferences, and weddings. When making a reservation, the room needs to 1, be available, and 2, be large enough for the party. Write an application that will store the banquet room's name, the status of booked or available, and the total capacity of the room. Include a menu that will allow the user to 1, book a room, 2, display the rooms and status, and 3, to quit. In option number 1, to book a room, you should ask the user for the name of the desired banquet room and the number of people in the party. Look for the room in the database. If found, test to see if the room is available. If so, test to see if the booking party will fit in the chosen room. If the room is available, mark the status of the room to be booked and display a message indicating that the North Pole room has been booked for a party of 25. If the room is found to be unavailable, display a prompt indicating that the desired room is not available, therefore implying that it's booked. If the room is not found on the list, then display a prompt indicating room not found. In option number 2, display the rooms and status should list in column format the room name, the status of the room, and party size, as can be seen in the example table below. You can see we have a room in column 1, the status. Now take notice to the status is booked or available. And then the capacity column is the capacity for which the room can hold when booking a room. So at most, the Sunset room can hold 45 people. At most, the Mosaic room can hold 300 people. So when you go to book the room, you're not going to change the capacity of the room to meet your party size. Let's say that the Sunset room was booked for 30 people. You're not going to change that in the array. You're only going to change the fact that I booked it, knowing that the party isn't going to exceed the 45 people, even if I'm only booking it for 30 people. You're asked to create and initialize 2 arrays. So there is a text file provided. In array 1, you're going to store the name of the room and its availability. By default, you're going to make all of the rooms available when the program first executes. So if I printed the list right off the bat, then all rooms would be listed as available. None would have been marked as booked. And then in the second array, you're going to store the capacity. Since I need to test to see whether or not the party size is less than or equal to the capacity of the room, then I need to store those values as numbers. I can't store them as string characters. So you're going to create 2 arrays. One is a 2-dimensional array holding the room names and their availability or booked. And then the second array is a 1-dimensional array holding the numerical value for capacity. For the menu with the option of 1, book a room, then you're going to go through the process as described in the description. You're going to ask for the user to input the room name and for their party size. You're going to search looking for a match of the room name, and if you find it, you need to test to see whether or not the room is available. So you have to test to see if it's booked or if it's available. If it's available, then you need to test your inputted party size against the capacity of the room and then display that you were able to book the room. Option 2 is to deny the booking or report the room not found. Option 2 is to display. So before we talk about examples of test data, let's take a look at where to find the document for filling the array as we've done in other examples. So if we go to Canvas and we go to the modules page and you click on the outline page, and you scroll down, you can see that under projects, there is a file for the reservations. Okay. And so if I look at that, you can see that I have created a for loop for you and data that can be read in. So this is going to read the sunset and available and capacity. Now, this time, unlike some of the other documents I've given you, I have not filled in all of the details. So we're missing a name of the uh, array for both the filling in for the two-dimensional array. Both of these are of character type, and then the parameters necessary to feed it. Okay, so you might need to look at other things. And then this one is for the second array. Take notice, no $sign, that's feeding in the capacity. So this is going to read sunset into 0, 0, available into 0, 1, and the capacity into row 0. It will go to the next count, which is going to be a 1. So then it is going to read in rainbow into 1, 0, available into 1, 1, and 150 into 1, and so on. So that's what you'll use to fill the array. So let's go back to then some examples. Okay. So let's talk about what the possibilities are for test data. Okay. And so let's say the user enters that they want the cocoa room and their party size is 60 people. So you're going to search the two-dimensional array looking for the cocoa room, and you will find that the cocoa room is available. So you need to test the status of the room. Well, it's available. Since it's available, then we are going to then test the 60 against the 75. And as long as 60 is less than or equal to 75, party size is less than or equal to the 75, then I can then mark this as being booked. So we're going to change the status to book. So I have to overwrite the array. So we're going to change the array at this location so that it now reads booked. Then you're going to print out a response that tells me that the cocoa room has been booked for a party of 75. Okay. For a party of 60. Sorry. You're going to print out that the cocoa room is booked for a party of 60. I don't care about the 75. We only use the 75 to test for capacity. If I list after our first entry, if I list, then everything should be listed as available except for the cocoa room. Okay, so let's say in my next example, we're going to input, for the next one, we're going to input the North Pole room. Okay, you enter party size of 100. So you're going to search for the North Pole room and you're going to see that it's not found. So you need to report that the North Pole room is not found. Returning to the menu, you're going to ask for, one of the options on the menu. So let's say that the user again chooses to book a room, and let's say that they enter the sunset room. And we're going to use the example that's up here. And let's say party size is 40. So you're going to search for the sunset room. We find the sunset room, and then you need to test the availability of it. Well, it's going to fail the test because it's booked, right? We can see that, at least in this table, that the sunset room is booked. So you need to then write a prompt that tells the user, you can tell them that you're sorry, whatever it may be, but you need to tell me that the sunset room is booked, and that you're unable to book the room because it's already booked. Okay. So it's going to fail this example here only because it's booked. So if I enter in this example here, let's say we enter then the mosaic room. Make sure I'm looking at it right. Mosaic room is booked. So we're going to enter the rainbow room. And let's say I want the rainbow room for 300 people. The rainbow room is found. Okay, so we know that the rainbow room is found. We know that the rainbow room is available. However, the 300 people that we want to book the room for it's not true that it's less than or equal to the 150. So then you need to tell me that the room, although available, in which you don't have to mark, the rainbow room, will not fit your party of 300 people. It exceeds capacity. Okay, so the idea in your test data is you need to test to see, whether or not the room exists. You need to test to see, when I find that it exists, is it available, or did I overwrite the availability with being booked? If it's available, does the party size match? And if it does, then you need to overwrite in the array that it is booked. Okay. And if it is booked, then you're not changing its status. The one thing we're not doing in this program is being able to cancel a booking, okay, or to make a room available. At any point in between all of this, I may ask you to list it. And so your listing should indicate any changes that are made to the array with the idea of one of the rooms being booked. Okay, so there's a lot to this program, as the last program in this chapter related to arrays, being able to read an array, search an array, and modify an array based on a set of conditions.